Aniket, you should be careful, because if you call stray dogs, then it is likely that you'll be attacked by these people who call themselves animal lovers. And they're very brutal. So far, they've had the sway because they manage the courts and the system, and they're very loud and aggressive, and anything happens, they sort of counter-attack very sharply. Tell me, Aniket, I want to start with you. Why is it that this time the courts are listening and the courts seem to be extremely concerned about what's going on?
Arnab, I personally completely welcome the order of the Honorable Supreme Court, because I myself have been a victim of the stray dog attacks. One of my relatives was attacked by these stray dogs and he suffered from rabies, and eventually that young boy died.
How old was he?
Now, as a family, I have seen the kind of suffering that one has to go through in incidents like this. And everywhere in our country, particularly in Delhi and cities like Mumbai, we have seen that pack of stray dogs attack young children, they attack elderly people. And it is very important that we draw the line today, because under the garb of compassion, we cannot compromise the safety and security of our own citizens. And Supreme Court today has not chosen humans over dogs, but what the Supreme Court has chosen is safety for all. And it is almost very important now that these dogs are taken to shelter homes where they are taken care of, where they are vaccinated, where they are sterilized, where, all good, I mean, they are not jeopardized. And at the same time, the streets are safe. I ask a question today to all the panelists who are present. Would you permit a stray dog who is probably infected by some disease to walk past by your children or your elderly parents, thinking that the stray dog will not really attack? I think we are mistaken compassion with negligence.
Roughly I'll tell you,
something
Aniket,
like this, we would be
roughly I'll tell you, Aniket,
because we are putting
this
lives
does not
at stake,
affect rich people so much.
Stray dogs are taken care of.
I'll tell you just a quick response before I hand over on the other side to Aman.
Terminated, or they should be
See,
killed.
this
All
does
that
not
the
affect
Supreme Court
rich
has said
people
that
so
there should
much.
be shelter homes set up.
Aniket, can you hear me?
Are being taken care of, where they're being fed, being vaccinated, and this is security.
Okay, we lost the line with him, so I'll move on to Sanjeev Bagai and Aman Lekhi. See, you see, this does not affect rich people so much. So rich people have this cute tendency, all our indie dogs are so sweet. Because rich people will not go and walk in areas where stray dog packs will attack them. Mostly, right? So this is a entitled behavior. Besides which, there is also an argument, Dr. Bagai, that is being put, is that stray dogs have a right to live. Now these people will also, interestingly, Aman, they don't even agree if you say feed the dog an animal in fixed feeding points. They'll say, why should we listen to you? These poor dogs, they want to eat, can't we feed the poor dogs? And then they'll also say, but dogs are territorial. Once you start feeding a dog in one place, the dog thinks that's his territory. Poor dog, that's not the dog's fault. And then we ask them, what happens if a human walks around that place? Of course the dog will be attacking the humans. Then what's the way not to attack the humans? Don't feed the dogs there. They'll say no. But the dogs will not go to a feeding point. Can the dog understand English? That they will go to a feeding point? Does the dog understand municipal rules? So on and so forth. Mad arguments. I'll tell you, completely mad arguments in the given situation. And a lot of militancy from their side. Dr. Sanjeev Bagai, could you tell Aman Lekhi about what you see on a daily basis, so that they first agree that this is not fiction we're talking about?
Yeah. Good evening. So I think we have to move away from a very romanticized Lululand view that dogs can coexist. Stray dogs can coexist with children and elderlies on the streets, where the behavior of the dogs, stray dogs, is completely unpredictable, unprovoked, and bites are taking place. I don't want the viewers to understand that the end point of only rabies is being discussed, because rabies is one end of the spectrum in which we are losing more than 20,000 Indians every year. 36% of the rabies cases are here. But the fact is that we have more than 30 lakh dog bites every year of what is documented. Mind the fact that a lot of the statistical data is not being captured because the patients go to local GPs where the records are not digitalized. So the numbers is a lot more. Now, I did a little bit of research, Arnab, on this in the last 2 days, ever since the Supreme Court judgment, which I greatly respect. Secondary bacterial infections because of dog bites in children is up to 35%. Multiple injuries on the head, face, neck is 30%.
My God.
Reconstructive plastic surgery is required up to 33%. Redo secondary surgeries is required up to 81%. This is published data of meta-analysis.
Sanjeev, most you put this argument to any quote unquote these people, these stray dog lovers, they'll say, because you don't love them. Dogs need love.
Yeah.
Dogs are not bad. You people are bad. Dogs are loving people who happen to live in areas, the poor things become territorial and they attack. What would they do? What would you do? So direct comparison is made. Some La La Land arguments are present.
So
this
there is
Menaka Gandhi type militancy is thrust upon people like us.
So there is no question that no cruelty to animals should take place. But the fact is, we can't allow these dog bites to happen to humans, especially children. Avulsion injuries.
But now these film stars are saying, but now you know all these rich film stars who probably don't go beyond their studio or their home out of their exclusive zone, they say, but we love these indies, we love these dogs, they are so sweet. They're so sweet. And what happens if some poor people get killed? We don't get killed. In Delhi, there are 91,000 terrible cases of dog bite, 50% more than last year. But they say, tell us one rich person who gets attacked. Because they live in gated communities. And in their gated, I can tell you, many people are saying today that, you know what, what's wrong? I ask you today, I ask you, Aman, how many street dog packs are running around Camellias, the most expensive apartments? Some of the people who are living in Camellias have begun a move. These are 100 crore flats. They've started a move. Save the stray dogs. How many stray dog packs have attacked people in Camellias? No, they won't. But a 53-year-old woman was fatally killed while she was plucking flowers outside her home in Bengaluru. A 20-month-old girl, Aman, was declared dead in Goa recently. Does it bring a smile to your face? Aman, brings a smile to your face, aren't you concerned? 3.7 million dog bite cases were registered last year. But animal activists say, we are only feeding these poor things. They're actually sweet. You are bad. You don't understand how sweet these dogs are. Aman, your turn.
Well, Arnab, you're indulging in pixelated theatre. And the mocking...
Theatre. What I'm showing you, is it theatre? Are these visuals also theatre?
I'm saying pixelated theatre. 1. 2. Your mocking, satirical caricature.
No, that's all. That's English. Answer me on fact.
It's very impressive for television, but I don't think it's appropriate for informed, intelligent debate. Are you saying the Supreme Court is not informed and unintelligent? Let me speak.
You're saying the Supreme Court is uninformed and unintelligent?
Yes, of course. I'll come to the Supreme Court. Now, I'll answer the Supreme Court. Now, because you mentioned the Supreme Court, I'll deal with the Supreme Court. Now, there are 4 things wrong in the Supreme Court, and I'll deal with the gentleman who was basically banding about these figures. I'll come to them in a minute. And before you say anything and make a class distinction between rich and the others, let me tell you that I personally take care about 100, 150 strays. And as far as strays are concerned, the strays I've got open access even to my house. And I know how strays
keep them in your house. Who's stopping you in your house? Why do you have to feed them on the road? Why do you have to feed them on the road?
Let me speak.
Why do you have to? You may take care of 1,000, but why do you want to feed them on the road? Keep them in your house, Aman.
One-sided.
You won't keep the dog in your house. But you have the liberty to feed him outside your home so that he can go and attack outside people.
You cannot.
So what is this logic? I take care. You have the money. You take care of 100 dogs.
Why have you called me?
I'm asking you, but it's a very selfish view.
What selfish view? Let me speak. Your view is a selfish view. Let me speak.
You guys get very
I'm dealing with the Supreme Court. And I'll deal with how the Supreme Court is wrong. First, as far as the Supreme Court is concerned, insofar as it acted upon.
I ask
is
you,
not the platform
I ask you, I know of a dog feeder outside AIMS. 1 minute. I know of a dog feeder who goes outside AIMS and feeds dogs. Do you know how many dog bites that have happened in and around AIMS?
I'm not.
Do you know how many dog bites that have happened in and around AIMS?
Why are you? Have you called me so
How
I
many?
can?
No, I'm asking you.
address you?
I went to the All India Institute of Medical Sciences.
Am I not?
But I'm asking you something.
Are you
Is
the
it
only
good
one
to
who has
feed
speak?
dogs at AIMS?
Pardon?
Is it good to listen to me? No, Aman, let's talk reasonably. I know
Yes,
dog
of course,
feeders
let me talk first.
who feed
Let
dogs
me
near
put a
AIMS.
question to me,
You
I'm
know
going
the
to respond
doctors
to it.
can't walk there because of dog bites.
Beg your pardon?
Doctors in the All India Institute of Medical Sciences live in terror today. You feel happy about it?
I
You won't go there.
Here, All India Institute of Medical Sciences, right? And and as far as these questions are concerned, the entire colonies around this are not living in terror. I don't know from where you're
It's
getting
your
that particular
perspective. You
information.
don't live in terror. You have
This
guards in your house.
information,
Most
that is
people will
precisely
go
the
out.
problem.
These people